do. We won't need that. At least not yet. Welcome back to Borrow Nation, friends. This garnered some interest. This garnered some interest on my Discord server. There are a few different people who said that this was something that they would enjoy watching, or at least enjoy me experimenting with the format. So the plan today is to... This is very bright. I'm going to turn this down. Oh yeah, you can't see. Yeah, I'm just changing the settings. So it's not in my face. Kind of go through like my cosplay process, the different things that I do in order to make cosplays. It might be like a good introduction into cosplay if it's something that you're interested in doing. But this is basically just to show you, hey, like I've done cosplays in the past. I had a ton of questions when I started doing cosplays. And so this is like an opportunity for you to be able to ask questions, take a look. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if it's an interesting process for streaming. So what I've done here is I've created just a slide show, a Google slideshow. It's free. And today's goal, I'm going to do three things. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to gather as much source material as possible. I'm going to identify the specific costume that I want to cosplay as. And then I'm going to break down the elements of that costume, what the different very important components of the costume are, or the cosplay are. Right, Voldemort has a wand. Voldemort in the movies like has that weird nose thing. Like, how do I do that? And then start shopping both for... and so right, part of that like itemized list is for every important item of the cosplay itself. I'll put the element down. I'll say, this is what I think I'm going to do to tackle that. If I'm going to do a 3D printer type thing, if I'm going to use my sewing machine to try and make it, if it's something that I think I can just order, right? So like I don't think I'm gonna 3D print his wand, for example. I'm probably going to just order it from either like Etsy or Fiverr. If I'm feeling really ritzy, I can order like one of the official Harry Potter wands off of like the Harry. I'm sure there's a Harry Potter merch store, right? You know, interestingly enough, I think this is a bad camera angle for this specific cosplay event. Or I mean, for like this specific type of stream. But this is what we're stuck with. So if you hate it, you hate it. Let me know, and I'll mitigate it in the future. So the first thing that I want to do is gather source material. Now, I'm going to gather all sorts of different shots, and I'm just going to be putting them in here. Roberto, you were at the perfect thing. Get back over here. All right. Why are you activated? You haven't been active all day. I've kept you deactivated intentionally. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So, yeah, let's just go start looking for Voldemort pictures. It shouldn't be that hard, right? Voldemort's a very popular character. Well, when I say very popular character, like, there's going to be a lot of images of Voldemort for us to choose from. Now, what we do want... What the crap? What Voldemort and Adele have this in common? Interesting. So... At least from these headshots, Voldemort full body. Yeah, there were not a lot of... there were a ton of headshots there. And headshots are not very useful in developing a full body cosplay. I need full body shots, right? Because I'm trying to cosplay the entirety of Voldemort, not just his head. Because that just wouldn't be as interesting. So my nephew's doing... my nephew is... Should I do a baby Voldemort cosplay? Oh, that would be hilarious. You know what? I'm going to keep this image, though. Copy the image. Paste it. Right, so this is... I'm going to get rid of whatever this box is. We don't need it. Hey, I said get rid of that box. Thank you. So we do have a picture... There's also part of this that we don't need, so we're going to go ahead and crop that out. Let's see. Crop out a lot from over here. I think we need those really ugly feet. What in the... Okay. Undo whatever that was. There we go. Crop it to here. Yeah. Okay, so we've got this, like, baby... We're going to call this Baby Voldemort. So this is a possibility. I don't think I'm going to go with this one. It would be really funny. Like, Roberta, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Stop. Stop. Roberta. What are you doing? Hey, come on. No, stop it! Roberto! I need you. Why? Why are you like this? You gave me the sign that you acknowledged that I wanted you to stop, and then you... Oh, I'm not supposed to cover my face when I use... Okay, can we please stop? Thank you. I'm sorry that you all had to witness that. It would be really funny. Right? If I could get one of my friends to actually carry me around a convention as I cosplayed Baby Voldemort, that would probably be my favorite thing. I don't think that's going to happen. That's weird. I don't remember this being a thing. Yeah, look at that nose. Right? It's going to be so... this is actually probably a really good headshot to have. Right, like there's both like this cranial makeup. I'm gonna have to shave for this cosplay. Not sure how we feel about that. And yeah, it's gonna be fine. Yeah, so there's all this cranial makeup that is really good to have like these like the detail for, and then also like the prosthetic nose, which actually isn't as bad as I thought it was. Because when I watched the movies, to me it looked like they had like sliced off his nose, right? But this is essentially, it's just like pulled down a little bit, and then there's probably either like plaster over a piece of tape on his nose that just makes it a little bit flatter, and then they're just like putting some mold here so it looks like he just has those slits. I don't think that, yeah, that actually doesn't look like it's going to be as bad as I originally thought it was. But we are going to go ahead, we're going to take this image, we'll paste it in here. Again, right, like the purpose of this image is just the headshot, so we can get rid of all that. It's also interesting, so if I full commit to this cosplay, right, that means I'm going to be shaving my eyebrows. Copy this. We're going to move this down here, like this. We're going to move this up here. Yeah. Make this wider. Centered. Not important to the actual cosplay process, but I guess it gives a little bit of personality about who I am. Okay. Yeah, so, right, determining, like, this makeup, I'm going to do that. And then the nose, and then determining whether or not I want to actually shave my eyebrows, or if there's, like, a solution for, like, make it look like I don't have eyebrows. When is this? It's going to be the weekend of July 4th. I mean, it's not like I really use my eyebrows in everyday life, so I'm not entirely opposed to shaving it off for the cosplay. My hair grows in pretty fast anyways. Okay. So, another really good thing, right? So, and this adds to, like, the depth of cosplays, is doing a little bit of research about the different poses that they make. One of my favorite things that happens to me when I do cosplays is people come up and ask for pictures, right? Which I love, because it means they really like the effort that I put into the cosplay that I made. One thing that you can do to, like, further enhance that is, like, really learn like the poses of the character. I've learned like voice lines of the characters that I've cosplayed in the past. Right, like just giving me additional. I'm sorry. I just noticed that this is a Voldemort body pillow. We don't have to get into that. But right, learning the poses, learning the voice lines, learning to imitate the voice a little bit, all those can add like some really cool depth to the cosplay. That makes it a much more engaging experience with people that you meet, and it can just be really fun. So I am actually also going to copy this image. I'm going to paste it here. We actually need most of this image. I can crop out just a little bit. Right? Just get rid of some of that. Bring this over just a little bit. But it's also really really interesting, right? The way like his cloak flares up over on this side. Okay, so we're gonna bring this one a little high. Yep, put it in line with. There we go. And then pose. Is he on his knees? It looks like he's on his knees. Yeah, because as I'm looking at this, I'm like, Voldemort's got to be taller than this. Right? Yeah, because this is his hip line. Right? So this is his chest and torso. There's no way his legs are shorter than his torso. So yeah, he's got to be on his knees for this. But right, like, when I went to Harry Potter World, they actually had this really cool exhibit where the like choreographer for the Harry Potter movies put on, I think it was 3 or 4 videos of different wand fight poses, wand fight choreography that happened. And so he'd like run you through it, right? And they had this little camera that would watch you, and then they'd be like, okay, you're ready. And then they'd like put a CGI enemy up in front of you, and you had to do your wand choreography correctly in order to like, win the wizard duel. Which is a really cool concept. It was actually really fun and really interactive. I do want to play a game. I committed to doing the cosplay stream, so I'm going to do this first. I'm probably only going to do... Roberta. Probably only going to do this for an hour. And then... but I would love to hop in Discord if y'all are in Discord. I'm going to guess 3. Alright. Try and get Roberto back to where we want him. Roberto, I need you to stop activating. Yeah, okay, so that's one of the ideas. Roberto, how is this motion? Thank you for deactivating. So, yeah, so right, I'm going to be looking for more of these details, right? Maybe I'll even grab some sound clips today of Voldemort talking or some of his more important lines. I'll probably Google what his like most impactful lines in the movie were. Roberto is my AI-controlled camera, who, when he's activated, right, he follows my face, like he makes sure that I'm always in frame, right, which is really cool and very useful for certain kinds of stream. However, for streams where I'm literally just sitting here, it's not super useful. And he responds to hand gestures. Roberto, thank you. And so that hand gesture just deactivated him, so he no longer follows me around. However, I've been gesticulating a lot today, and some of the things that I'm doing, he's like, that's the hand motion, it's time to start moving again, right? And I'm like, no, please stop. I just need you to sit here and just be right here. So Roberto is my cameraman. Okay, we're going to need another slide. Maybe eventually, right, I'll organize these different images into, these are the pose slides, and these are the headshot slides, and these are the full body costume slides. But right now, we're just picking images that we like. So here's like a toy. Right, notice like, right, the position of his hand here. Right, if I were like pretending to be a wizard, just as a child, I don't think this is a wand pose that I would have come up with, right? This, like, very delicate, like, hand on top. It does look rather menacing with his weirdly long nails, which is probably an important detail. So I'm actually going to grab this image as well. We're going to pop this into the new... Oh, no, get rid of this. Get rid of this. We'll go ahead and pop that in there, right? Because I think there's some really good detail in here that can be useful for the cosplay. Both about the nature of the wand, right? Looking at these nails. I don't remember if he had those nails in the movie or not. But as we continue looking through these images... Where did this one come from? Right, this is... So what is this an owl? Something went wrong, that page doesn't exist. Wait, really? Oh, it's from... Oh, it's a... Is this an AI-generated image? Okay, so we'll probably disregard that one. This is kind of that same hand pose, just from a different angle, right? Also, like, there's very pronounced these lines on his face. We're gonna go ahead and put this in. And then I'm going to keep adding little notes to help keep track of like why I'm picking these images. Like, so, right, the thing that I noticed about this is nails and hand position for the wand holding. Boo. There we go. Enter that, bring it up. So then over here, it was a little bit the hand position, but more like these cheek lines, right, that I noticed. Because that's not something, if I make that face, I don't think the lines definitely would not be that pronounced. Maybe they would if I didn't have the beard. But probably finding a way to enhance that, probably either through some sort of makeup, right? To enhance these lines, because that's very visible, especially with how pale his face is, which is something that I'm now noticing. Like, my face is pale. I'm a pale man. Even I literally just spent a week in the Caribbean, and I'm still shining brightly. But he is like ghostly white, right? So I'm almost definitely gonna have to like powder my face and head as part of this cosplay in order to like really sell it. So in addition to cheek lines, I'm gonna put paleness. I do like the incorporation of the snake. I like the idea of having Nagini in some way associated with the costume. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. And this is another pose with a different hand position. Actually, I think that might honestly be like the same hand position, but like inverted. We're going to grab this image as well. Okay, and then we'll go rid of that. Get rid of that. Nope. Or I just got a couple of new board games today. And there's a board game. So I met, this is an odd story. But Holy X Ghost, you'll appreciate this. 2 years ago for Christmas, so not 2024, but in 2023, my brother and his wife came to San Antonio to visit my sister-in-law's grandparents for Christmas. I was alone in San Antonio. I just moved here, and so my brother was like, "Hey, why don't you come up and like visit with us and meet your sister-in-law's entire family?" So I met her grandparents and her uncles and her aunts and like her cousins, like everybody. Tried to remember the names or whatever, but a couple of them were really into board games. So this one guy who I was talking to, he's like, oh man, this board game, there's this board game that I really, really want to play. He's like, I've been wanting to play it forever. It's called Xia. It's XIA. It's a spacefaring board game. It's by Far Off Games. So I had ordered a game called Iridia the Paths We Dare Tread. And as part of the Kickstarter add-on bonus, I was able to also order a copy of Xia, which is out of publication. Like, it's no longer being produced. It's out of production, so they're no longer publishing it. You can't get a new copy anymore. So this was like a very rare opportunity. So I thought it was really cool that like that was a game that he really wanted to play. I'm like, I have that on order. I don't know when it's going to get it here. He's like, well, as soon as it does, let me know. So it got here today. 2 years later, I now have it. So I sent him a message earlier telling him that I finally had it. Okay, so over here, what do we got? So we have a new pose. We have the Nagini. Okay, so let's take a look at these robes, right? Because at first I thought these robes were definitely black. And I would love some feedback from you, the viewers, about whether or not you think this assessment is correct. But the robes look really green in this image and in this image. Now, in this image, I'm like, oh, they look green because he's next to a snake and because he's got, like, the green light coming from the Avada Kedavra out of his wand, right? But, like, this one, I feel like that's much less justified. I feel like his robes are actually just a really dark green. Maybe. So I'm actually going to add that note. Dark green robes. Also, I hit some button on accident. And I don't really know what it did. Nope, don't want to do that. Nope, don't want to do that either. Can we just go back to the way things were? Okay, whatever. So, yeah, I think the robes might be just like a... Oh, yeah, look at this headshot. This headshot, that's definitely a very dark green material. It is not black. Which is not... Ah, that's what... Wait, we're in... No, go back. Why can I... I am... Thank you. So it is definitely a dark green material. Dark green. Good. So we're going to move this down. Yeah, so it's definitely a dark green material for the robe. So if I do end up making my own wand, I'll probably put like a green LED in the end, right? And put either like a button on the wand or something so that I can like... You know, if I really wanted to be clever, I could use a micro Raspberry Pi with a microphone, and anytime I said the word Avada Kedavra, have it light up green. Because Raspberry Pis... Let's let ourselves be a little bit distracted by this tech dream, right? Micro Raz... Let's look at Raspberry Pi, and like, smallest available. Yeah. Yeah, so right, it's like $10 for this sensor, or for this chip. I could fit this in the base of the wand pretty easily, and it connects via USB-C. Right, and so essentially I would just attach a microphone to this, and then program it that whenever I said the word Avada Kedavra, it would turn on for 3 seconds. Very straightforward program. Very simple to do. That's very small. That's like approximately the size of this person's thumb. So... Oh yeah, you can get 3 of them for $20. Pico-like MCU board based on Raspberry Pi. Yeah, can you... Raspberry Pi Zero is half the model of the A Plus with twice it. Raspberry Pi Zero. Open link. Take a look. How small is it?
same pinout, although it's not populated. The same.
Okay. That's actually not bad. So that's so the important part is that it's still very thin. Right? You can see that this one's definitely a lot longer. That's probably about as long as like his index finger. Uh, which like because of like the style of a wand, right? That's still not a bad size. So essentially, what I do is I'd have a microphone in the base, right? And the microphone would be pretty circular, so it'd be really easy to hide in the base of the wand. And then I'd have like a thicker part of the wand that made up the handle, which means it's not exactly true to the Voldemort wand in the Harry Potter universe or whatever, but like it's gonna be close enough. I doubt that's gonna be the thing that people ding me on when they're looking at like the cosplay accuracy or whatever. Um, yeah, and so and then at that point, um, at that point I can just yeah. So okay, that was all just to prove that this is possible. We can stop looking into that. Let's look at some other. Let's look at more of these images. What is this? Voldemort buff manly full body. No. No. What? Hey, Holy X Ghost, do you think this is the Voldemort cosplay I should do? Ooh, I really like this image. I like this image, so I'm gonna nap it. Get rid of those, paste this. Yeah, I don't know how useful this is for the cosplay. Well, actually, you know what? So, one really interesting thing that I could do, right, is it'd be doable. So this is like an interspersion of that really nice like jade green with these really dark blacks, and this could be simulated using like tassels, or like by tasseling the material itself. Let's shrink this up a little bit. We'll add a text box. Tassels, dark green and black. And again, just so pale. There's also a slightly different like cranial makeup here that I kind of like more. Like these, you see these lines right here. They're much more distinguished than this weird, like cracked eggshell look. So I kind of really like I kind of like this look more. Is that just a concept art? Yeah, he really likes holding his wand like this, right? It's just like it feels like a creepy way to hold a wand, which makes sense. He's a creepy, scary character. Um. Okay, this shows off the color of the robes pretty well. Yeah, so it's definitely that dark green. This is the first time I've seen his shoes. I don't know how important that is, but because it's the first time, we're gonna go ahead and get it in here. Um, we can get rid of Daniel Radcliffe. We don't need any of him for this. Bring this down. Boom. Bring this over. Is that like mud on his head? So this again, right? Once again, this like confirms. Look, his hand's even in that weird, creepy position when he's dead. Shoes. It also looks like his head is like caved in a little bit, which is odd. Ah, so this is a cosplay that someone else did. Yeah, look, that's actually a really interesting idea. So I'm gonna take this image, I'm gonna put it in here, but I'm gonna crop out. There's one really important concept here that I think I want to. Oh my gosh! If I'm trying to crop, why do you keep right here? It's like look at these hands. So the way that they did the nails, it looks like they actually like. Oh no, those are probably just fake nails, right? But like for a second, I thought that they had taken like plastic tubing and put it over each. Roberto, I thought they had taken like plastic tubing and put it over each of their fingers. Which, if we look at, no, I guess they are strictly like nails. Am I gonna have to get fake nails for this cosplay? I've never done that before, so that'll be interesting. Maybe I can ask my sister-in-law about it. She's pretty good with nail stuff, I think. Don't think I'm gonna get my head to look like that. That's a decently good headshot. That's hideous. Yeah, that's oh my gosh. That makes me uncomfortable. I don't like that. Um that looks like a Nostradamus more than it looks like a Voldemort. Hey look, it's the baby Voldemort again. Don't know what's going on there. Wait, is that? Oh, I think that's Neville Longbottom. I like this cranial makeup a lot. Right? With like the dark green. This makes him look much more snaky. Which I think was the intent of the makeup to begin with. I really like this cranial makeup. I'm gonna grab this headshot as well. And there's quite a lot that we can crop out of this. Right, we don't need any of that. This over. Yeah. Right, so over. So we gotta look at the nails. Snake cranial makeup. I mean, his eyes are pale eyes, are definitely paler than mine, like his irises. I do have very light blue eyes, but those are like almost white. Also, right, maybe like snake eye contacts. So I don't think they do this in any of the movies or anything like that. At least I don't recall, and I haven't really seen it. Yeah, so they don't do that, but they do definitely have yeah, snake eye contacts. Yeah, they're relatively inexpensive. So his eyes were really light blue. Almost. Oh, that's interesting, right? Look, those ones are white, and his were pretty white. So that's not. That might be interesting to do something like that, right? To get these snake eye contact lenses. Getting them in my prescription would probably be a little bit tougher, but I would definitely either do like one of these whites, or if they had a really light blue, if I could find a really light blue, I might do that. Over prescription. I don't know what 3 for 2 means. I mean, I get 3 individual contacts. Green lizard eye contact. So 20. Oh, 30 days. Oh, they're good for 30 days. I was like 30 because I use daily contacts. So my contacts are good for one day when I wear them. It's much healthier for my eyes. Yeah, see, they do have daily lenses. Okay, these ones are for 90 days. So, I mean, I guess I could, like, keep them around if I really wanted to. Yeah. It looks like it'd be about $25 if I wanted to do that. It's obviously, right, that's not even part of, like, what they had in the movie, so it's not being true to anything, but I do feel like it helps express, like, the character. So that's, like, an option that I have, and that's why I've noted it. That is terrifying. That image is terrifying. So yeah, we've got the dark green robe. That's actually a really good depiction of the robes. Other than the fact that they're not the color that I'm going for. This one's not bad. Oh, I actually really like that a lot for the overall robe design. Yeah, I like that a lot. So we're gonna grab that. I think that's what I'm gonna use for my robe design, and then yeah, right, because it very much matches this. So I might do like a quadruple fold, right? So it's obviously it's got like the single fold over, right? And so the idea is if like he was wearing like an undershirt and then like a robe over it, right? They would both kind of fold over like that. I think that would look really nice. And you don't necessarily have to wear two separate pieces of clothing in order to make that work. You can do it all with a single robe as long as you just layer the material correctly. Um, so yeah, go ahead and get rid of those. Add this image. There's so much that we can take out of this image. Get rid of all that dead space. Like that. Okay, and then we can shrink that down. But yeah, I really like um, the shape of the robes here. So probably gonna go with this design. Yeah, and then maybe we grab two more images, just a couple more reference images. See if anything stands out. 1.58 inches. I'm gonna be taller than that. Oh, I just wanted a closer look at the image. I didn't want. Yeah, so this right, this is a very different. This is very different than the one I just saw. It's much straighter. Right, it's got the straight line down the center. It's a little bit odd that. Oh, that's a really good picture of the shoes. There, we're gonna grab that. We can actually. We have room over here. Paste because we're gonna crop out everything except the shoes from this. But like, yeah, those shoes, those feel much more Voldemort-y to me. We're gonna put those over here. Put this over here. Yeah, it's a little bit harder to see, right? But I actually really like the look of that shoe. I have no idea how I would recreate that, right? I have no idea what they did to make that work. But it, like, when I see those shoes, I'm like, yeah, Voldemort would wear those shoes. I think that's amazing. Okay. Is there anything else in here that stands out? Right, and this is why you click on a bunch of different images. Yeah, so he's on his knees in that scene. We already determined that. That's the zoomed in version. That's supposed to be him and the baby Harry. Just taking a peek. Is there any other small details that stand out? His eyes look very green in this one. His hand's in a different position. He is in pain in that picture. That's another really interesting way to hold the wand. I think I am actually going to take that image just for that wand pose. Oh. Copy the image. There we go. There we go. And we just want the wand pose. Right, because that's a really interesting way to hold the wand. Flesh that out. Come on. Come on. Go. Through it. Thank you. Alright, any other images? That's an interesting wireframe sketch. That's not going to be super helpful to us. Oh. That's a good picture of Nagini. I don't know how much work I'm going to be putting into making like a Nagini like plush or something, right? So again, not a that doesn't seem like a Voldemort image to me. Okay, so yeah, I think that's a really good amount of images, and if I need more, I can always come back and grab more. But I think that's a really good start. Voldemort Chrome theme. What is this? Ah, that's kind of cool. Not helpful for what we're doing, but cool. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna call this Cosplay Elements, right? And so essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna generate a list of all the different things that felt like they were important to the cosplay itself. Okay, so there was the cranial makeup, there was the wand. Wow. Wand. There's the robes, there's the shoes, there's the poses, there's the wand choreography. Nose specifically. Snake question mark. Makeup, wand, robe, shoes, poses, wand choreograph, nose, snake. Yeah. I think those are the important bits, right? Is there anything else we saw? Oh, maybe the tassels? We could put the snake contacts. I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think it's... I don't know. At some point, I'll set a budget, right, for the cosplay. Be like, this is how much I'm going to spend. Because otherwise, you can spend so much money trying to make your costume. And I'm not doing the baby Voldemort. Or I guess this is the twisted soul of Voldemort in limbo. Yeah, so I think that covers the big thing, right? So now we start researching how to do Voldemort cranial makeup FX. Okay, so there's some tutorials. Ah, that's interesting. Okay, so he's putting some sort of like wig on? Or like a cap? Right? Okay. So, yeah, so what I'm going to do real quick, actually, is instead, no, to the whole box. Bring this over. Line it up. No, I want you to line up with the other text box. Why are you not doing that? There. And I'm going to put like, so the cranial makeup is obviously going to be makeup. the wand, Etsy question mark, 3D print, question mark, robes, that's going to be sewing, choose, probably order something. Honestly, because I'm wearing robes, I might just wear tennis shoes underneath, right? Because that's not going to be a very visible part of the cosplay. And it can be miserable to walk around a convention in uncomfortable shoes. Poses, that's just going to practice one choreography. Nose, I think I have to do prosthesis. Is there like facial effect clay? Or like, actually, I asked someone about this. Told me, yeah, they told me to do a prosthetic nose. What did you say? Liquid latex. Liquid latex. Ah, there we go. Liquid latex. So that's probably going to be really important. So, liquid latex. Snake. Might order a snake. If we choose to do a snake, we will order it. Prosthesis. What? Why are these bullets so much smaller than those bullets? Okay. I don't know. I don't understand. So that's kind of what the plan is, right? So the last thing that I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to look at sewing these robes. And I'm going to look at robe patterns for cosplay. Specifically patterns. And so we're going to look for something that looks like what we're looking for, right? None of those patterns look like what I want to make. So it's definitely not going to be that one. This looks like it could be okay. Hooded coat, robe, cloak, full length cape. I mean that's okay. I don't really like that one either. Because there's like that really nice line that I wanted to recreate, like this, like high collar, right? So what I might do, right, is I might look for a shirt actually instead of a robe because it's pretty easy to like, oh, okay, so this one has two pieces, right? He's got like this really long, almost like a kimono, actually. Um, Male kimono pattern. Yeah, so this is oh, that's really interesting. With all those tassels, remember how we talked about potentially tasseling it to make it look like, yeah, see these really bold layered lines really catches kind of what I was looking for. You can't see it very clearly in this image, but right, you see how it has this really thick, you can just barely make out the line right here, and then there's another one right here. So this is like really the concept. Like, and see how like long the sleeves are? Yeah, they almost definitely put him in a kimono. Yeah, right. It's got like that high collar. It's got the wide sleeves, and then some of the images have him wearing like a robe on top of that. This, in all seriousness, is pretty close to what I want the robe to look like. Yeah. That's really interesting. Okay. But again, we're looking for patterns. That's okay. It's missing that collar. that I wanted. Right, that really thick, bold stripe. That's really high. I just want to see the image, and it keeps just taking me straight to the link. See, this is okay, but those, I would probably extend up this color a little bit. Also, this is apparently underwear, and is not a pattern. Oh, okay, I need to stop looking at the sponsored section, that's what I need to give me do one more, then I will. Nope. Do one more, then I will. Huh. Yeah. So that's the idea, right? Is that I want to find a pattern. I'm not finding one very quickly, so this isn't very interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and call the cosplay stream here. I want to thank everybody who stopped by. I will be back maybe later, Roberto, to do another League of Legends stream, maybe a late night stream tonight, depending on how awake I feel. But thank you again. Hopefully you enjoyed this content. If you do, please let me know on the Discord server. And if there's enough interest, I will definitely continue doing cosplay planning and cosplay creation streams. At some point, right, I would pull out, like, now that I've planned it, once I got a pattern that I would like, and I got some material that I would like, which is another thing that we didn't do tonight. I could do a stream of actually sewing the material, actually putting things together. So thank you again. Have a wonderful night.